The Super Bowl is back on. The Jets defeated the Texans 21-13 in a game that had highs, it had lows, it had you wanted to pull your hair out and had you cheering your face off. This game was a mind f, if we're being honest here. The first half was really a debacle, I think, by both teams. You had drop passes, you had fumbles, and it all was topped off by Malachi Corley fumbling technically the ball through the back of the end zone on a play where he should have scored an easy touchdown. I don't understand why these guys do this. I know you're excited. I understand you want to celebrate, but get the ball over the goal line. Act like you've been there before. And you're watching this game, and then the Texans go down and score a touchdown, and you're like, this is some sick joke. Malachi Corley had his Jet moment there. And honestly, if we're being real here, this is your first ever NFL touchdown. Like, if it was me, I would have a death grip on that ball, and I would be taking it home with me. I would not be dropping the ball at any point. But it is what it is. You've learned from it, and thank God that touchdown didn't cause us to lose the game later on, right? Thank God the offense finally woke up in the second half, and we got 21 points on the board. Should have been 28, but at least we got 21 on, and the defense clamped down. But if that had not happened and we lost by 5 or we lost by 4 and that touchdown would have been the difference, I think Malachi Corley would have been an absolute pariah for all New York Jet fans. He has not been able to see the field, get on the field because the coaches see something and that he's not picking up the offense, what have you. And then the one time he does get on the field and he's about to score a touchdown and he does that. So thank God for him and his future as a Jet that didn't affect the game. But act like you've been there before. Act like you've been there before. Atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Second half comes around and the offense finally starts clicking. Garrett Wilson has two touchdowns off one-handed grabs. One while he was running, and obviously the great one that everybody is comparing to Odell Beckham. I would say Garrett Wilson's touchdown is better than Odell's, if we're being real here. Odell was, yes, it was against the Giants, but it was in a losing effort. And let's be honest, he didn't have to worry really about the sideline on that catch. He's catching the ball way back here, and it's a great athletic move, but he got to fall into the end zone. Garrett had absolutely no room. He was up against the back line of the end zone, one-handed grab, foot, shin. It was called a non-touchdown. It was called out of bounds at first, changed on replay. And that's Garrett Wilson for you. That's the Garrett Wilson we've been waiting to see all season. That's the Garrett Wilson, even on the first one, where Rodgers just puts it out in front of him and Garrett's able to make that grab. Garrett's catch radius is growing as we're watching him play. And that communication with him and Rodgers is growing each and every game. It's getting better. And that's the Garrett we wanted to see all season. Brees also had a great game. I don't have the exact stats on me, but they're actually running the ball pretty well, especially to the left-hand side behind Tyron Smith. A lot of these stretch plays to the left were really getting some good yards. They didn't run too much in between the tackles, which is fine. The few times that they did, they used Braylon Allen. He's able to put his shoulder down, put his head down, and actually bowl some people over. The offensive line played very well, and I have to give my flowers to Olu Fashanu. People don't understand what happened in this game. The right guard, I think it was Hansen, ended up leaving the game sometime around the second quarter, and Olu came in. He has never played guard in his life, not in college, not in high school, and he stepped in and played his ass off. Apparently, Tittman was telling him on every single play what he needed to do. Max Mitchell's quote was, I think he was drinking from the fire hose. And you heard his name called once for a hold, and it was kind of a ticky-tack hold on that Rodgers scramble. It didn't quite look like a hold to me. It looked like more like the defensive player kind of selling it a little bit. But other than that, you didn't hear his name at all. And This is why we got Olu. He is going to be a Jet for the next decade. I'm telling you, Jet fans, he's going to be a Jet for the next decade. And it's because of situations like this. He is so good that you can put him in a position that he has never played in his entire life, and he can dominate. He can dominate. Again, Joe Titten is telling him what to do on every single play. Olu Fashanu, one of the saviors of this game, along with Garrett Wilson getting his, connection with Rodgers. The touchdown to Davante Adams, you could saw in the sky cam in the huddle. I think they were coming out of a timeout. You saw in the sky cam was right over the top of the huddle, and Rodgers is talking specifically to Davante and Mike Williams, who were on that side of the ball, telling them Rodgers set that touchdown up. I think it was a third and short. Third and short. The Texans kind of brought everybody, and Rodgers threw it up to Davante. Davante had a great release, wide open, hit him in stride. And that is I believe the 69th touchdown between Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams. It has to continue. I hope it continues. They're going to have a nice 10 days off. Aaron Rodgers is going to get to heal up. He'll have as much cayenne pepper and water as he wants now. He said he felt better going into this game from a physicality standpoint, and we just hope it grows from here. We have to hope it grows from here. The kicking was not an issue. I forget the name. I literally forgot the name of the kicker that they brought in. I'd have to look it up. We're doing a Monday morning on a Friday morning, giving you my instant reaction from the game. How about that? The stupid penalties continue to happen, especially on the defense. And you had that field goal that would have put the Texans up, I think, 13. Well, it would have brought them closer, but 13-14. Makes the field goal. It gets called because of, unnecessary roughness on the long snapper. Goes half a distance to the goal line. Jets defense stops them again. Now it's an even closer field goal, and the Titans kicker doinks it off the post. So, it worked out for us in the end. The penalty actually worked out for us in the end, but still, it's stupid penalties. You had another stupid one with Irv Charles running into roughing the kicker on the punt, running into his plant leg. I understand he's going for the dive. It looked like on the replay, he's going for that block, but you got to pull up somehow. You can't hit, you can't hit the plant leg. That simple. Other than that, Sauce had some bad penalties too that moved the Texans down the field, especially in that last drive. But the defense only gave up 13 points to a pretty decent Texans offense. I understand they're missing Collins, they're missing Diggs for the season. But that is a pretty high-powered offense. How many sacks was it? I think it was 8 sacks on Stroud. The defensive line was dominating the interior of that Texans offensive line. Hassan Reddick came to play. McDonald was a beast, forcing Stroud out of the pocket, making him feel uncomfortable all game. We won this game in the trenches, guys. The offensive line stood up even with guys hurt, with Olu coming in, and the defensive line stood up as well. Another guy I want to give flowers to is Sherwood, Jamie Sherwood. He was all over the field. It looked like he was shadowing Stroud a little bit to make sure he didn't get out of the pocket too many times. Some great tackles on Mixon on some cutback runs that could have gone for big plays. He was all over the field. Again, Olu Fashanu, Sherwood, and of course Garrett Wilson. Those are my 3 top players in this game. Aaron Rodgers finishes with, I think it was 22 of 32, 211 yards, 3 touchdowns, 110, 114 passer rating. His passer rating in the second half was 148. That shows you how much of a disparity there was between the first and the second half. So this is the Aaron Rodgers we need to see. He had a little bit more mobility today. We saw that one scramble got called back from Olu. He had a little bit more mobility today. Keep drinking that cayenne pepper and water. Heal yourself up. We'll see you in 10 days in Arizona. Let's go, Jets.